If you're someone who likes to replay conversations years later, then I have 2 books and 1 essay for you. In this book, characters obsessively replay interactions, misread signals, and then blame the other gender. And in this book, a friend entirely reinterprets her friend, their relationship, and their silences. And the essay talks about how friendships slowly vanish without closure and nobody really talks about it. So the essay is It's Your Friends Who Break Your Heart, and I think it's one of those pieces which you read and you get so scared that, oh my god, is this something which I should be scared of, and this will happen to me in the future. I will also lose friends, all these friends जिनके साथ मैंने इतना time spend करा है. It's kind of an investment, right? You invest your time, you invest your thoughts. The essay's name is It's Your Friends Who Break Your Heart. It is by Jennifer Senior, and I have highlighted a few of my favorite parts. You start to realize how much you need your friends. They are the flora and fauna in a life that hasn't had much diversity because you have been so busy, so relentlessly, stupidly busy. Then one day you look up and discover that the ambition monkey has fallen off your back. The children into whom you have pumped thousands of kilowatt hours are no longer partial to your company. And what then remains? Such essays get you to keep thinking, right? That here I am constantly replaying conversations in my head. Why did I say that to my friend? Why that friend said that to me? And there will be a space in time where I might not have them because of these conversations, because I was stupid enough to be hell-bent on something which wasn't even important. Friendships are awfully hard won. The dearest people in your life have gently faded away. You lose friends to marriage, to parenthood, to politics, even when you share the same politics. Political obsessions are a big under-discussed friendship ender in my view, and they seem to only deepen with age. This is something which is very rampant, at least in the people around I see. Because even in my family, when we are at dinner tables or when we just go out for lunches and I look at them discussing about their friends and I ask them, okay, why did you stop talking to so and so person? And more often than not, the answer is that our ideologies didn't match. The next piece of text that I want to discuss, it's a book and it is Rejection. This is a series of linked stories about people who crave connection but fail to sustain it, turning rejection into this obsession, resentment, and identity. And this book shows how in the digital age, loneliness is intensified by self-sabotage and the inability to process not being chosen. आपके साथ कभी हुआ है that the moment someone rejects you, even if it's in a little friendship, you are sitting and someone is eating something, and ये सबसे ज़्यादा childhood में होता था, by the way, that you are eating something, आपका कुछ lunch चल रहा है, सारे बच्चे बैठे हुए हैं, and so friend just gets up and sits with someone else, and you kind of feel this little bit rejected in yourself that, okay, am I not good enough? Why did this friend of mine didn't like me? एकदम से कभी आप स्कूल में जाओगे, कोई बच्चा आपको बुलाना बंद कर देगा, उसके दिमाग में कुछ चल पड़ा, एंड यू विल फील अगेन अ लिटिल रिजेक्टेड. एंड वो छोटा फीलिंग आपके अंदर कितना पैल्पेबल, धीरे धीरे वो कितना मेटास्टाइज हो जाता है. बट इस सब में एक और चीज़ होती है. अगर आप अपने आसपास देखोगे ना, सम ऑफ द पीपल दैट यू नो, दे विल टेक दिस फीलिंग ऑफ रिजेक्टेड एज देयर होल ट्रू आइडेंटिटी. They will be using it to gain sympathy, they will be using it to gain access to you or to other groups of friends. And इसमें एक sentence है, मैं आपको पढ़ के सुनाती हूँ. I know you identify as a reject. I know that's like your brand. Like it's some unprecedented form of suffering that gives you secretly saintly wisdom. All this non-stop high-frequency whining, that's what facile. Another one, but not on the same lines. Love is not an accomplishment, yet to lack it still somehow feels like a failure. ये जो सारी चीज़ मैं इतना बक कर रही हूँ about replaying conversations, about feeling things deeply, सब कुछ rooted तो love में ही है. The love we feel in friendships, the love we don't feel in friendships. And जब आप love feel नहीं करते हो, एक और feeling है, hatred की नहीं, पर indifference की और absence of love की. And when you are able to identify in all of this madness कि आप क्या feel कर रहे हो, then when you know what you're truly feeling, that's when you are able to read all these texts better. Same lines of replaying conversations in your head पे. She's always enjoyed reliving things vicariously more than experiencing them directly. ये मेरे साथ तो बहुत होता है. जब मैं किसी moment में होती हूँ, उस time पे I can see, and it is very conspicuous for me that okay, whatever I'm looking at right now, I'm enjoying, but I also know that this is the moment where I'm actively constructing a memory which I look back to. अब जो मैंने आपको बोला था, some people like to put this self-sabotage, this sadness as their only characteristic and use this to bait people. उसी line of thought में, I do not think it is unfair to say you have a habit of passively consenting to miserable situations or even baiting them out of people so you can later weaponize your sadness. Like you have joked about how you do that. I have seen it. The obvious glee you take in talking about how awful men have been to you. Or you need it to lend gravitas to otherwise ordinary dissatisfaction. This is victimhood. Complete victimhood. एंड जब आप ऐसी बुक्स पढ़ते हो जिसमें ये विक्टिमहुड आपको इतना क्लियरली, आप यू आर लुकिंग एट इट सो क्लोजली एंड यू आर सडनली लुकिंग एट ऑल योर फ्रेंडशिप्स. कौन कौन बीच में विक्टिमहुड की एक्टिंग कर रहा था, कोई अच्छा दोस्त मेरा था भी या नहीं था. द नेक्स्ट टेक्स्ट, ये तो बहुत ही फेवरेट टेक्स्ट है मेरा. यूट्यूब, इंस्टाग्राम की ऑडियंस को मालूम होगा अब तक. Elena Ferrante is my brilliant friend. Leela is brilliant, volatile and fully impossible to know. And Elena always feels that she is not equal to Leela. When you are reading this story, you too get to see how these two characters, they like to breadcrumb each other. ना वो होता है ना, पूरा प्यार ना देना, बट बीच में से कुछ ऐसा कर देना जिससे आप कंफ्यूज्ड स्टेट में रहो. यार ये मुझे बेस्ट फ्रेंड मानती भी है कि नहीं मानती है, पर एक्ट तो करती है, मेरे साथ जाती है, हम लोग बैठते हैं, हम हंसते हैं, बट बीच में कुछ ऐसा बोल देना जिससे आप एक कंफ्यूज्ड स्टेट ऑफ माइंड में रहो. तो आप उन कॉन्वर्सेशंस को कॉन्स्टेंटली रिप्ले करोगे, बट उनके जो एक्शंस हैं वो आपको कंफ्यूज कर देंगे. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट. Leela did something unexpected. She stopped to wait for me, and when I reached her, she gave me her hand. This gesture changed everything between us forever. And इसके immediately बाद doll incident आता है. Leela knew that I had that fear. My doll talked about it out loud. And so on the day we exchanged our dolls for the first time, with no discussion, only looks and gestures. As soon as she had Tina, she pushed her through the grate and let her fall into darkness. एक sentence में there is this conversation about how these two friends are inseparable, and the other sentence shows how one of them threw the other's doll without any reason. What Elena says, I was used to feeling second in everything, and so I was sure that to her, who had always been first, everything was clear. The pace, the calculation of the time available for going and coming back, the route that would take us to the sea. I felt as if she had everything in her head ordered in such a way that the world around us would never be able to create disorder. I abandoned myself happily to find a friend, and then to declare that friend that you will be better than me all our lives, and I am abandoning myself, my truth to you. Now another one, how as women too, we tend not just to replay conversations in our head about and with our friends, but also with our parents. This is one such example. My mother said that I was indecent with those big breasts I developed, and she took me to buy a bra. She was more abrupt than usual. She seemed ashamed that I had a bosom, that I got my period. The crude instructions she gave me were rapid and insufficient, barely muttered. I didn't have time to ask her questions before she turned her back and walked away with her lopsided gait. Okay, this Elena and Leela, right? Elena, you know, this brilliant student. Leela, once a brilliant student, but now she's not in the campus anymore. She had to leave the university and she's now handling her father's shoe shop. So the teacher greets Elena and she says, "Oh, your essay was brilliant. I love to read it. But by the way, where is Leela? I regret that she couldn't complete her school and she's not here taking books, borrowing books from library." And उसके बाद ये जो sentence है, it's hard to explain why, but that regret made me suffer. Me, Elena यहाँ पे. It seemed to me the sign of a true interest in Leela, something much stronger than the compliments for my discipline as a constant reader. While I left no mark, I embodied only the persistence with which I added volume to volume in no particular order. जो सारा compliment दिया उसको कि तुम्हारा essay बहुत अच्छा था, she couldn't even take that compliment because she felt कि लीला की एब्सेंस में एक बहुत बड़ा कॉम्प्लीमेंट फॉर लीला छुपा है जो कि मेरे कॉम्प्लीमेंट से बड़ा है. और ये सब कुछ रेट्रोस्पेक्ट में लिखा गया. दिस इज अ नरेशन. दिस इज दैट वेरी रीप्लेइंग ऑफ कॉन्वर्जेशंस. सो दिस वी हैव रीच्ड द एंड ऑफ द वीडियो एंड इफ यू हैव एनीथिंग इन माइंड विच यू थिंक आई शुड टॉक अबाउट एक्सेप्ट फॉर बुक शेल्फ टूर, देन प्लीज लेट मी नो. ये भी करेंगे, बिल्कुल करेंगे, अभी नहीं करेंगे. आई एम वेटिंग फॉर अ फ्यू बुक्स. वो पार्सल्स आ जाएं, मैं इसको थोड़ा सा साफ कर दूँ, थोड़ा सेटिंग कर दें, देन वी विल डू दैट टू. But except for that, if you have anything in your mind which you think I should talk about, please let me know in comments. Thank you.